Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video here on iStarly TV. This is part of my new series where I'm featuring a unique moveset for a Pokemon in case you want to try it out, particularly for Battle Stadium singles, but of course, you can make variations of this for other formats as well. But I play a lot of Battle Stadium singles and I've been brainstorming a lot of sets with this new season. So let's get to today's set of the day, I guess you could call it. Today's Pokemon of the day, whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite Pokemon, Smeargle. So Smeargle's been one of my favorite Pokemon for a long time, and look how cute it is in this game. I'm so happy it's back. So this set is Baton Pass Smeargle. Now obviously Smeargle's quirk or gimmick is that it can technically learn any move in the game. I think there's a couple exceptions, but for the most part, it can learn any move in the entire game. The trade-off for that is that its stats are atrocious, so you're not going to be sweeping with it, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage, so it ends up being pretty much one of the best support Pokemon in the game because, again, it can learn any move, so you can kind of tailor it to your team to support your team to the best of your ability. I think Stealth Rock and stuff like that, Sticky Web, stuff like that, those are probably going to be some of the better Smeargle sets, but Baton Pass is also a really good one. So let's talk about the set here. This is Baton Pass Smeargle with the move No Retreat. So this is actually an interesting move that I kind of discovered. It's the signature move of Phalanx, which is a Pokemon that made its debut in Sword and Shield. And so this is the first time we ever get Baton Pass with No Retreat in any of these formats, any of these competitive formats, because of course Smeargle did not exist in Sword and Shield, and Phalanx was the only Pokemon that could learn No Retreat. What No Retreat does is it boosts every single one of your stats, so you get +1 attack, defense, special defense, and speed. However, the downside is that you can no longer retreat, as it's called No Retreat. So once you use this move, you boost all your stats and you cannot switch out anymore. However, one way to get around that is with Baton Pass. So Smeargle can use No Retreat, boost all of its stats, and then Baton Pass all of those boosts to a strong Pokemon on your team. And you can pass it to just something that's already just naturally good, like Fluttermane or Dragonite or Gouging Fire. I mean, there's so many options. You can literally build your team however you want, and whatever you want to receive these boosts, you can make. So from there, in order to kind of guarantee that we get the No Retreat going, we have the Focus Sash item, which means that we will always survive any hit. And then we also have Spore. Spore is yet another move that's really good, and Smeargle obviously learns it. I think Spore is a very common move on Smeargle because it's a 100% accurate sleep move. And with Focus Sash, you're guaranteed to survive a hit, and then you can put them to sleep. Then you can go for No Retreat, and then you can Baton Pass it while they're asleep. So you're kind of guaranteed in a lot of situations to get those boosts onto your Pokemon. Now, one drawback, or the drawback for No Retreat, the fact that you cannot switch once you use it, that little drawback is also Baton Passed along with all the stat boosts. So if I go for No Retreat, boost all my stats, and then I Baton Pass to my Latios, for example, my Latios, it now has all those boosts, but it can also no longer switch out. So keep that in mind. That's really important. Although in a lot of situations you wouldn't want to switch out at that point because you passed all these boosts, so you wouldn't want to waste them. But make sure you want to pass to a Pokemon either in the late game once you know the opponent's team, or pass to a Pokemon that has really good coverage. So like, for example, if you pass into a Superior and then your opponent goes into like a Pokemon with Sap Sipper, so you can't use your grass moves anymore, right? That could be a really awful situation. So keep stuff like that in mind. But yeah, I think that this is a really fun set. I've tested it out a lot, and sometimes people don't expect it because No Retreat, once again, Phalanx is the only Pokemon that learns it. And no one uses Phalanx, so when you use it, people are like, what the heck is that? And then you just end up Baton Passing all these boosts to something really strong and kind of sweeping them from there. So as for abilities, Smeargle's abilities, it has Technician, which you never want to use because you're never going to be using damaging moves anyway. Own Tempo is not amazing either. Own Tempo prevents you from getting confused. That could be decent, it's very rare that you would ever be confused, but if that situation comes up, Own Tempo can be very good. Finally, there's Moody. Now, Moody is my go-to ability for this set. Moody will boost one of your stats by 2 stages at the end of every turn, but it will also lower one of your stats by 1 stage at random. Both of those are random. So this can pair really nicely with No Retreat and Baton Pass because you can rack up even more boosts. However, Moody's very volatile as well. So for example, if I No Retreat and I'm planning on passing to like my Latios, and then I get the Moody boost and it lowers my special attack, that could be a little bit awkward, right? So that could make it so that I don't want to pass to Latios anymore. So, you know, obviously you're playing this in Battle Stadium single, so you're going to have 3 Pokemon on your team. So I would prefer to have like a good special attacker and then a good physical attacker, just in case something like that happens with Moody. And so I think Moody's the default ability, but like I said, it's also possible you just want to go with Own Tempo just because Moody can be a little bit too random sometimes. As for Terra type, I went Terra Dark here. You know, when I built this set, I started with Terra Dark. The reason I thought for that, now first of all, you are rarely ever going to Terrasilize Smeargle. Like, I don't think you're ever going to want to, but there are going to be rare situations where you might. I went Terra Dark just in case we're up against something like Grimmsnarl or another Prankster Pokemon. Prankster is, or rather, Dark type Pokemon ignore Prankster. So if they have a Pokemon with Prankster and they try to taunt you or something, or Thunder Wave you or something like that, if we are a Dark type, we ignore that. So that's why I chose Terra Dark. Another good Terra type that I think is probably better, if I'm being honest, is Terra Grass. Now, Terra Grass does a couple of important things. First of all, it makes you a grass type, which means you will be immune to Spore or Sleep Powder or moves like that. So the opponent cannot Spore you, which can be very useful. And also what it does is it makes us a grass type, which means we resist water, which means that we resist Surging Strikes from Urshifu, because that's one way that we could get destroyed with this set. If we lead Smeargle and the opponent expects it and they lead Urshifu, they can click Surging Strikes and they're going to be faster than us and they're going to hit us 3 times because that's what Surging Strikes does. And since Smeargle is very frail, of course, they're just going to completely one-hit KO us even through our Focus Sash. So if we want to avoid that, we could go Terra Grass, and that is an option as well. So like I said, you're rarely ever going to want to Terrasilize Smeargle, but in those corner cases, Terra Dark or Terra Grass are probably the best way to go. And that is my Baton Pass Smeargle set. So, like I said, the goal with this series is just to kind of feature a set as I have it. I'm going to try not to do too many variations. Obviously, if you want to run Baton Pass Smeargle, there's other moves you could run instead of No Retreat. If you're worried about that downside, there's Shell Smash, there's Quiver Dance, there's Victory Dance. You know, there's a lot of options, but I think No Retreat's a good kind of well-rounded move to Baton Pass because it boosts all of your stats. We're racing here, if you can see. Oh, he's gone. So let me know in the comments what you think of this set. If you want to try it out for yourself, there's the EV spread. Feel free to throw it on your teams, and like I said, you can choose just about any offensive Pokemon to Baton Pass all of these boosts to, and almost everything will appreciate it, right? So if I lead Smeargle and my opponent leads with like a ground type or something, I can Baton Pass into a flying type or into a Pokemon with Levitate, right? So I can resist their moves, stuff like that, right? So you can just kind of play by ear and just, you know, choose any Pokemon on your team to Baton Pass to. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. Let me know what you think of this series, and if you have any suggestions for how to improve it, or if there's anything you'd like to see with this type of series, like maybe a quick battle showing it off or something like that, anything like that. But I like just doing this quick content, showing off a moveset, and if you want to try it out, it's there for you. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.